Hi guys, in this video I'll be covering 4 ways to embed a map in your Power BI dashboard. I'll be covering the basic Bing Map Visual, Field Map Visual, Shape Map Visual, and finally ArcGIS Visual. By the end of this video, you'll learn how to embed a dynamic map in your Power BI reports to give it an upgrade and a better look and feel. So now, grab a cup of coffee, sit back and watch. For the dataset, we're going to use the US cities dataset. You can find it in samplemaps.com. I'll have this link available for you in the description. So all what we need to do is download the free basic version. Let's open the downloaded file. You can see we got a zipped folder that contains those files, one in CSV and one as an Excel. I'll just show you the content of this file. So the file contains all the cities, the state, the county, and we have here the coordinates. We have the population of each city, the density, and some other information. So we are going to use this data as a source for our dashboard. Now let's start by importing the dataset we downloaded from Get Data, Text or CSV. So I'll just use the CSV file. No transformation is required. I'll just load it. And here we have the data loaded to the dashboard. Now before we start looking into the different map visuals in Power BI, there are a few settings we need to do. First, we need to make sure that maps visuals are activated in Power BI. To do this, you go to File, Options and Settings, Options. You go to the Security tab and make sure that if you want to use ArcGIS map, make sure to activate it from here, and also you need to activate map and field map visuals. Hit OK. This is the first thing you need to do. However, you need to make sure also you have the maps activated in the tenant. And for this, you need to go to this link to the admin portal tenant settings and look for tenant settings. And if you go down here, you'll find the option to activate the ArcGIS map. You need to make sure this is enabled. Apply. Also, you need to have the Azure Maps visual enabled. Apply. And finally, the map and field map visuals enabled. If you don't have direct access to the admin portal, you need to ask the portal or the tenant admin in your company to activate those options for you. Now, after we have all the settings done, we're ready to start adding maps to our dashboard. We'll start with a simple map, specifically the Bing map. From visuals, you'll find the Earth icon here called map. Just select it. It's a built-in visual. You can see it's added. Let's just expand it a little bit. Next, you can start adding the fields. For the location, you start the first level by adding the state name, then the county name, and finally the city. For legends, we can use, for example, the state name. You can see now we have different colors for the states. And for latitude and longitude, we can use the ones provided in the CSV file. We'll just feed the latitude here. As you can see, it takes the average. Of course, since we are dealing with the United States cities, it's already predefined and the names will automatically map. You don't need the coordinates, but if you're using any other map, you might need those coordinates. For the bubble size, which is the size of the circle basically, you can use any metric. And for this example, we're going to use the population. So from the dataset, let's feed in the population. And we can see now the bubble size increases with the population for each of the states. And you can have also on the tooltips some information. For example, you can have the state name, the county name, and the city. And if you have more information, you can also add them here. So if you hover over any of those, you can see all the information provided. You can remove the word first from here and rename them the way you want. So notice here we're looking at the first level, which is the state level. But if you select any of those cities, you can right click and drill down. This will allow you to drill down to this specific state. Now we're looking at California, the different counties there, and you can even drill down to see the cities inside. For example, let's drill down one more level. We can see the different cities, and you can use the zoom in and zoom out. And if you want to go back to the previous levels, you just drill up from here one more and we go back to the state level. Now let's see the options to format this visual. From format your visual, you can see the map settings here. So we have different backgrounds. For example, you can use this here, dark, and we have light option. So you can play with those and see or the proper style you want to use. I'll keep it as road for now. For legends, also you can keep them or turn them off, but you can also have them, for example, let's say center right. You can see now they're listed as state names here. Because we have so many, let's just turn it off, keep the map. And also you can control the bubble size from here. You can make it by magnitude, by data range, and so on. But we'll keep it auto. And here, if you want to show the names, the state names, you can turn this on and you can start seeing the different state names. So as you zoom in, you can see we have the name of each of the states. Let's add some filters to this page to see how it works with data. Let's select slicer, move it here, resize it. And for example, here we can have the state name. We can add county name, for example. And if you like, you can also have the city. So now you can filter for specific states or specific cities, for example. And you can see how the visual responds by zooming in to the specific selection. Let's add another slicer. So we'll have the slicer just beneath the map here. And for this slicer, we can feed in the population. You can see here we have the population as between, as interval. So you can filter only the states having certain population. You can see here, based on the population, we can slice the map and it will zoom in and zoom out as expected. Let's finally have one card in the corner that shows the total population and feed to it the population. So we can see here the total population based on the filters we are using. Notice that we can select from the map itself and it will filter the number of population based on our selection too. Let's just format those visuals a little bit. So I removed the background, added some borders, the rounded corners and shadows, and we can copy those formatting for all the other visuals. Just from home, select format painter and apply to the other visuals. You can see it picked up all the formatting. Let's rename this. So this is the first and the simplest map visual available for Power BI. Let's look now into another map visual. Let's just duplicate this page. And for this page, we're going to look for filled map. So let's just select this and replace it. We have the option here next to the map, we have filled map. Just select it. And we can see here the fields are picked up for the most part. And here we go. We can see here that you have legends. You can add legends. Let's have the state name also as a legend, so we can get different colors. And we can see now the different states comes in different colors. And what you notice here, it's not a bubble anymore. It has the entire state filled with a different color for each of the states. Just the same way, this is interactive and it will work with filters. You can see here. And for example, from the location, you can filter, for example, for Florida. You can see here it zooms in to Florida. You can again right click and drill down to see the different counties. We can see here we only see one county because we have population filter, but if we include all of them, we can see now the different counties. But here you notice, because we're selecting the legends on this map to be as per the state name, we have all of them with the same color, all the counties the same color. But if you want to see the legends or the colors based on the county, you can replace the state with the county name. So you can go to county name. Let's drag this to legends. You can see now we have different colors for the different counties. And you can drill down to any of those counties and see also the cities inside. The same idea, they will come the same color because we have selected the legends to be county. Let's just try to see how it looks. If we select city, you can see different colors for the city. For this visual, you can again play with the style from map settings. Let's, for example, select grayscale. It will be easier to see the different cities with colors, or even dark might be easier. Let's just keep it on grayscale. You can also here show the different legends or hide them. If you want to see the legends, you can list them here. So this is the second option to use map visuals in Power BI. Let's now look to the third built-in map visual in Power BI, which is the shape map. Let's just duplicate this page, name it shape map. Now let's replace this visual. Let's just click on it, and you can see here next to the filled map there's an option for shape map. Just click on it. So now this is what we got. We got a clean map without any background. It just shows the different states, the shapes, and you can select in the location only one level. So you can't have the state and the county and the city. You're allowed to use only one level, and for that we use the state name. So here there is no reason to use those different options. And for color, we'll remove it too. You can see here even Alaska is moved next to the other states here, so the locations are not showing properly, and even the fields you can't find a location to feed in the coordinates. We have only the location. We selected the state name, and you can have legends and color saturation, and this will work very good with numeric values or numeric KPIs like the population. So if you feed in population here, you can see we have a color scale now. The darker it is, the higher the population is. This will work as a heat map to see what states have more population. And if you go to the format of this visual, you can see here the map settings. You can see we have already predefined maps. We have different countries. You'll find many different countries you can select from. And since we used in the location field the state names, it automatically picked up the US. So you can only use one of the maps listed here, or you can create your own custom map. And we'll see this in future tutorial, how to create your own map. It doesn't have to be a country, it could be any kind of map that you can create and feed in to this visual and create your own map visual. Also in the settings you can allow auto zoom. For example, if you select a specific state, it will zoom into that state. For the fill color, so you can adjust the color scale from here. You can use gradient, so it will look more like a heat map. You can select the minimum, for example, to be in the green side, maybe something like this. The center to be orange, for example, and the maximum to be red. Something like this. You can see now it looks more like a heat map. And it again, this will work with filters. And you can see also if you select any of the states, it will update the population visual. Also, if you remember, we said that location is not accurate for this map. So Alaska was moved here and the size is not correct. But if you want it to be in the correct location, you can again go to Format Visual, and from Map Settings you can find the projection here. You can change the projection, and you can see here with this projection Alaska is moved to the correct location, and also Hawaii. You can also check out the different projections available. The size and location will be more accurate. Or you can keep them next to each other if location is not important. There's one final map visual I want to show you today, which is the ArcGIS visual. So if you have already a published map on ArcGIS, you can also embed it in your Power BI dashboard. Let's see how this works. Let's just duplicate this page. Let's name it ArcGIS. So let's delete this visual first. And you can see here from the visuals, since in the settings we activated ArcGIS, we can see we have the ArcGIS map visual available for you to use. So let's just click on it. It comes here, and you can see here it shows this message to sign in. So if you have ArcGIS Enterprise, you can log in with your credentials by providing the URL to ArcGIS Enterprise and just log in with your credentials. But for this tutorial, we're going to use just ArcGIS Online, and you just log in. So I'll just use my Google account. So after you log in, you can provide the location here. I'll provide again the state name, and you can see here it's loading, and we can see it loaded the United States map for us, and you can provide the different information. I'll just use again the population and the size. You can see here it shows different bubbles for the size, or for example you can use the population for the color, and we can see here you have different colors based on the population. And we have here some controls. For example, you can search. So you can click here, for example, and search for a specific city. Let's search for New York, for example. You can see here it lists the different options. Select just New York, and it zooms in to New York. Let's clear the filter. You can see here also we have a selection option. You can select many states. It will highlight them for you. And here you can see the layer you added. Since we added the population, it will show you the color scale based on the population. You can see here the different styles you can apply. The nice thing about this visual, if you have already created a map on ArcGIS, you can add it to Power BI and you can start add information and layers on top of it here. So these are the 4 options to have a map in Power BI. There are more options. You can import different map visuals from the marketplace, but I believe those 4 visuals will give you everything you need for maps. I hope you found the content of this tutorial valuable. Leave your feedback and questions in the comments below and hit the like button. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're new. You don't want to miss the unique contents we cover in this channel. Also, you can download the Power BI file we covered in this tutorial from a link in the description below. Stay tuned for the next amazing project. Peace.